There has been one huge difference in quality between Wacom's drawing tablets and their competitors, and that's the screen. That might be starting to change. XP Pen sent me their new, higher resolution QHD screen, and today I'm going to be checking it out. Hello, my name is Brad. I review tech for creative professionals, illustrators, designers, break dance instructors. Today I'm taking a look at the XP Pen Artist 24 Pro, the big one with the QHD screen. All of these screen sizes and abbreviations, I know they can get confusing. HD, Full HD, QHD, UHD, PHD. This one is the QHD, which is sometimes called 2K. This means that the resolution is 2560 pixels by 1440 pixels. And this is a good step forward for one of these budget-priced pen displays. One of my critiques of the larger screens on older XP Pen and Huion displays is that when you take a 1080p resolution and you stretch it out to a 22-inch screen, you can really see all those pixels. And the main reason why is you're hovering right over it when you're drawing. So let's take a look at everything that comes in the box. You've got the giant heavy pen display itself. You have a power cord block with the power cord itself. You also have a USB-C cable in the box. If you have a computer that can do the whole USB-C thing, this is the only cord you're gonna need. If you don't, they also pack in an adapter for that USB port. They also have an HDMI cable included as well. Also is one of those cylindrical pen sarcophagi. Nobody calls it that, but in the back of these things are some extra nibs. There's also a second pen included here, which is a nice extra because I'm always losing my pens. I don't actually ever lose them. I just never can tell which one belongs to which device. You also have some of the papers and, a drawing glove. Let's break down these specs. We already talked about that 24-inch QHD screen. That screen also has a 90% Adobe RGB color range, which is solid. It looks pretty good. There is an anti-glare film on this screen. It is good for drawing. I like drawing on these slightly textured surfaces. It gives my pen some resistance, some drag. Feels good to draw on, more like paper than a glass screen. I was surprised to see that this did not have a laminated display. I have heard that doing lamination on these larger screens is kind of expensive, so that's probably why they're just trying to cut down on that cost. But also, this is something we did see on the older 1080 displays. Brad, what the heck is a laminated display? Lamination or bonding cuts down on the difference between the screen and the glass above it. So that means when your pen tip hits that glass screen, there's going to be less displacement between that pen tip and the cursor below it. What this does is if you're at a slight angle or you're drawing at a different part of the screen and looking down at it, is it's going to give you more accuracy. Is going to make it feel like you have more control. This isn't a huge issue, but this is something we're used to seeing on screens now. For example, if you just pick up your phone, this is going to have a laminated screen on it. It's going to feel more modern. It's going to feel better, look cooler. Taking a look at the pen, we have 8,128 levels of pressure sensitivity. You also get 60 degrees of tilt. I was a little surprised because along the back, there are extra USB ports. So you could plug in your keyboard or you could plug your mouse into this. It's a nice touch. It wasn't necessary, but I like it. Along each side, you have 10 shortcut keys for a total of 20. You can customize these things to any keyboard shortcut you like. It also lets you go left-handed without fiddling with the settings. The buttons to help you adjust and calibrate the screen and that sort of thing are along the top, and they're not really buttons. They're touch-based, so they're not like the tactile clicky buttons. You just kind of tap on them to activate them, and they work pretty well. See this? This is a circle. I know, right? Who knew? It's not just any circle, it's a click wheel. This has a couple shortcuts set to it. You can toggle between them, so if you want to change your brush size or zoom in and out, you can do that here. The next thing I want to take a look at is the build. I think the build is okay. The buttons do feel solid. They're not jiggly. That red scroll wheel clicks and feels really good. Also, that scroll wheel is calibrated pretty well. Sometimes when I get one of these tablets in and start using it, one thing I find is that if I turn it a little, sometimes like the brush grows by a half a pixel, and sometimes it's the other way around where you just touch it a little bit and all of a sudden your brush is huge or you zoom in way too much. That's not the case here. Very well calibrated. It also comes with the stand. It's built in, well, I should say it's screwed into the back. You can position it at almost any angle, and it works well. There's a little latch on the back to release it, and then when you get at the angle you want, you let go of the latch, and you're good to go. This thing is big. I've mentioned that a couple times because it's big. You notice big things, right? And since it is so large, a lot of you are probably going to want to use this as your primary monitor when you're not drawing on it. And that's one of the things that the stand lets you do is it's got these rubber feet at the bottom of the screen itself. So you can set this at an almost 90-degree angle. One thing to note is the lowest position doesn't go below what I would call, I don't know, I'd say this is about 30 degrees. If you want to go lower, you're going to have to take the stand off. Personally, I think 30 to 40 degrees is my comfort zone in terms of where I want to be drawing, so this is fine for me. The matte coating on the screen looks pretty good. When they ship it out to you and you open it up, you're going to peel off this film, and the reason why is because that matte coating can scratch if you're not careful. That's something I've accidentally done on other XP Pen products, and definitely something I'm a lot more careful about now. Today's sponsor is Private Internet Access. They are the leading no-log VPN service with over 1 million paying customers. A virtual network provider connects your phone, tablet, computer, game console to a VPN server. This allows you to use the internet through that server, which not only puts a barrier between you and hackers who are trying to get at your information, but also allows you to change your location. Ever wanted to watch a TV series or a movie or a live sporting event but couldn't because of where you physically live? Use Private Internet Access's VPN to change the country that you're coming in from, allowing you to access that geo-restricted content. Stream Netflix, Hulu, you name it, from anywhere in the world. Is it complicated? Nope. One click and you're browsing the internet anonymously. Is it slow? Double nope. It is crazy fast. Private Internet Access hides your IP address and your location, making you anonymous online. Ever had your private information stolen? I have. It is not fun. Not using a VPN puts you at a greater risk of that happening. Is it any good? Well, it did receive PC Mag's Editor's Choice for 2020, so yeah, I'd say that's pretty darn good. Get Private Internet Access today. Use my link down in the description to get a 76% discount. That's $2.85 a month for a whole year, plus 2 extra months free. Now we're going to talk about that drawing experience, so let's go to the pen test. Welcome to the pen test portion. If you have been here for a while, you know how this works. I like to come in here and just play with a pen, see how the pressure works, see what kind of things are happening with the pen. I also like to make sure that the smoothing is down. I also like to make sure that I'm on a basic hard round pressure size pen. And I'm noticing right away as I'm just drawing lines, I am getting, a little bit of wiggle around curves and things like that. There is some jitter to the pen. It's not horrible, but let's go to our line test and see how this kind of pans out. So where you're gonna notice this the most is on slow angled lines. So as I draw these slow angled lines, there is a little bit of jitter, a little bit of wobble. A lot of this is my hand. So I like to come in here with a straight edge and try this again. Let me turn down my brush size so I can apply a little bit more pressure. We can take a look at it. All right. Drawing this line here very slowly at an angle. And overall, that line looks pretty good. But here, one of the things you're going to find when you find pen with a wave is that it's kind of uniform. And so I can kind of see the uniformity to that wave a little bit. I could definitely see it kind of along here. Sometimes you'll hit a bigger bump on the ruler or something like that. But when you start to see this uniformity, you know that there is a little bit of wave to the pen. The good news here is when there's just a little bit of wave to it, you can usually turn on stroke smoothing in a lot of drawing applications and knock that out. Another thing that's going to knock it out is, slightly faster strokes. So now with a little bit of stroke smoothing on, let's do our big stroke again. Let me turn this brush up. And now when I draw with it, I'm getting some really nice smooth lines, which is pretty much what I'm looking for. Now when you do turn stroke smoothing on, one of the things that you're going to notice is that you're going to get a little bit more lag on the pen, which is to be expected. So you're always kind of balancing, lag versus how much smoothing that you're going to get. I also like to do, some fast hatch lines. Let's actually turn smoothing off for that, just to kind of see how the taper is and how those sort of things are doing. And every so often I do get some weird tapering. It's like the information isn't passing to the pen quite as fast as I want to. So that's something to kind of be aware of. Another thing I'm noticing is occasionally I'll get little dots on really fast lines. Try that again without hitting the button. Here we go. Let's jot these down. So, and again, On some of these fast lines, I am getting a little bit of wave. But overall, I think this pen is a B. I think there are some issues. It's not quite as good as a Wacom pen, but it's not horrible. I think this is definitely within the realm of what I expected out of an XP pen tablet. That was the question, Parrot! Okay, Brad, this or the new Huion 24 with similar specs, or do I go with the Wacom 22 or the 24 Pro? So the Huion, I haven't actually had the chance to test yet. It's coming to me in the next couple weeks. Probably going to have a review ready for that sometime in early July. I would say since this 24-inch display and their 24-inch QHD display are coming out at the same time, they're probably using the same manufacturer that are creating the same parts that they're using in this thing, so I wouldn't be surprised if they're also very similar products, but we'll see. So when we talk about those two different Wacom Cintiq products, we got two very different things going on there. One, we got their budget model, which is the 22-inch that came out last summer, and the other one's a little bit older, but is still the highest end drawing tablet you can get, which is their 24 Pro. Now that 24 Pro has a 4K screen, has had a 4K screen for a long time. I had this thing sitting on my desk for a long time as my primary drawing tablet that I was using. I really like that, but when you take a look at the price, it's more than twice the price of this XP pen. So you are making some compromises. So the real question here is, what compromises are you willing to make for that price? Obviously, you're not getting etched glass. You're getting that matte screen coating. On the Cintiq, you don't have shortcut buttons, but it does come with that express key remote, so you can remove that anywhere you want where it's comfortable. Also, with the Cintiq 24 Pro, you don't have a stand. That's something you're going to have to invest in, and the stands they make for it are really expensive. You're talking about several $100s more just to get a stand. You are getting the Wacom Pro Pen 2. I feel like this is close enough. You could definitely make the case that the Pro Pen 2 is better, but is it worth paying another $1,000 some odd for? I don't know. For some people, that's going to be a definite yes. For me, I don't think I'm really going to notice the difference. When we're taking a look at that more budget price 22 Cintiq that came out last year, I think this is a better buy. That does have the better pen, slightly better pen anyway, but when you're looking at just the quality of the screen, one, you're getting a full HD screen on the Cintiq, you're getting the better screen here. Plus, unlike the Pro version that ships with the little remote key thingamabob, you're not getting any express keys. Some people that doesn't bother. They like having the keyboard off to the side. I like being able to rest my hand, my palm right there on that screen. I love the express keys. So for me, I'm totally okay because they're about the same price. I think the XP pen comes in a little underneath it. And I think that I would probably go for the XP pen over that standard Cintiq 22. You can't really go wrong with either of them. I think you're just getting a little bit more value here. So the main question is, what's wrong with this thing? I would say nothing really. We've hit the point where drawing displays have reached a level of quality where the differences between them are pretty minimal. This is pretty pricey, but then again, when you look at the Wacom Cintiq 24 Pro that we were talking about a minute ago, that is significantly more expensive. So I really do feel like this is a very good value for the price that it's offered at. Yeah, you could definitely see they've cut some corners. It would be great to see full 4K screens come into these things, but this is a nice step up, and it's a nice upgrade over last year's 22R. Yeah, you could definitely see some places where some corners were cut to keep that price down, but overall, I think those were good corners to cut for the amount of value that you're getting for it. So if you have any comments or questions, let me know down below in the comment section. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you in a couple of days.